Do you know what gives me the instant ick? Men's social media profiles. Welcome to the Date with Confidence podcast, a place to come for dating advice, support, and stories that'll either fill you with hope or relief that your dating experience wasn't as bad as it could have been. With practical episodes that'll provide you with easy to implement tips to help you feel confident AF on your next date, alongside lighthearted catch-ups where your host Rebecca, that's me by the way, shares her own experience dating after 4 years of the single life. You are guaranteed to end each episode feeling less alone in your dating struggles, empowered to never settle again, and confident that the best is yet to come. And if it all falls to shit, there's a special first season dedicated to breakups. You are welcome, my friend. Subscribe, review, and share with your single friends. So years ago, when I worked in my office job, there was a guy that worked a couple of floors above me and he was so hot, really hot guy. And my friend that I worked with, she knew someone that knew him, and I was like, oh my God, I wonder if he's single. And I was going to be like, can you put in a good word for me? But then we stalked him on Facebook because that's what you did back then. I mean, I don't do this anymore for this specific reason, but that's what we used to do back then, was stalk them online. So we find his Facebook page, go to his Facebook page or profile, and instantly I was like, oh my God, no, this guy's not for me. He gave me the ick before I'd even got to know him. And this reminded me, or I was reminded of this story because the other day I was on Hinge having a little scroll through all the people that have matched with me, and this guy had a good profile. I'm matching with a lot of like younger guys at the moment, which I'm here for. Having dated older now, I'm like, no, let me go back to younger. He was younger than me. He was like 28. Profile was quite good, but then he had his Instagram in his profile. Now, my rule of thumb is anyone that puts their Instagram handle in their profile is an instant no for me, because I'm like, why is this necessary? I would never put my social media in my dating profile, because to me it screams, I don't actually care about being in a relationship, I just want to grow my following. And the prompt that he'd put was something like, or the thing that he'd written with his profile was something along the lines of like, even if we don't match, then hopefully you can check me out on Instagram, or we can be friends on Instagram, or something along those lines. And me being curious, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go and check out this guy's Instagram. So I go to his profile, and I get the ick immediately. So aside from like the topless kind of half posery photos, he was also following like a ton of girls, because I checked out, he was following like 600 and something people, which I just don't think is necessary. But anyway, he was following like 680 people, and I was like looking to see who was following him, and a lot of them were like young hot girls, and I was just like, okay, this is not for me. I've never dated someone who uses social media that much, so I don't know whether it's just, I don't know, I'm just not used to dating men that have Instagram. And I don't really care to know about other people's social media. Like, anyone that I've dated over the last couple of years, even the guy that was seen at the start of the year, I didn't know his Instagram handle. I had no interest in knowing his Instagram handle. I was just not bothered at all, because seeing what men post on social media gives me the ick immediately. So anyways, I'd seen his Instagram profile and I was like, this guy's probably not for me. And then there was a link to his YouTube in the profile. So I was like, oh, do you know what? I'll check it out. I'll just see what he's like. And he's quite successful on YouTube, like decent following, decent views, like pretty successful. So I was like, okay, I'll just watch one of his videos. So hit play on one of his videos that I'm like, this might be interesting. And immediate confirmation, didn't like his voice, didn't like his accent, didn't like his mannerisms. He was chewing gum. It was like an instant no from me. And like, I've come to realise how important voice is for me. It is a huge thing for me. Accents that typically bother me, Essex and East London, which I know is major, like so hypocritical of me, because I've obviously I'm from Essex, so I don't feel like I have a really strong Essex accent, I don't think, because of like living abroad and trying to lose it. But yeah, like a strong Essex accent, East London is not my ideal. Like, you know what I mean? Like a proper like East End kind of accent is not my cup of tea at all. The way that Essex boys speak, and I'm like, this is generalizing massively. This is mainly going on my exes and the way they talk about like nicking a bird and like it makes like when men refer to women as birds, it makes me feel sick. I'm just like, shut the fuck up, you're disgusting. So yeah, I heard the way this guy talk and decided like, you are definitely a no. And I think sometimes it can be good because now obviously I haven't wasted my time matching with someone who I know is an instant no. But I think the problem with this, the problem with checking out people's social media before you get to know them, and a big reason why I specifically don't, is because you then build up a perception of someone that isn't the same as meeting them in real life. And I get like people are authentic on social media, people show up as themselves, great. But I also feel like people show a certain personality on social media. So I was listening to a podcast the other day. It was a Jamie Lang podcast, and I can't remember who he was interviewing. Now, I've only seen a few of his interviews. It might have been Youngblood. I've only seen a few of his things. Is it like The Good Company or something? Something like that. Anyways, Jamie Lang's podcast, and he shared on there how he believes we have like 4 personalities within us, like 4 key personalities. And I'm just trying to find, because I made a note of this when I actually watched it, so I'm just trying to find that. So he had said, or he had heard someone else say that we have 4 personalities. So the personality we are with our family, the personality we are with our friends, the personality we are with our partner, and the personality we have when we're just ourselves on our own. And I agree with this, but I would also add in that there is a 5th personality, and that is the personality that we show on social media that is more of ourselves than we are when we're with our family, and it's a hint of who we are with our friends, and more of who we are when we're alone than we share with the people we love. But also it's still a lot of the time holding back from the exact person we are when we're on our own, and we just have that permission to just be ourselves. And that's why I think it's a problem when we look at other people's social media before we get to know them, because we do build up this perception of who they are based on the personality they put out on social media. And I think that can be quite damaging, because I think we can but we can instantly dismiss someone based on a couple of photos or a couple of videos that they've shared online, when that's not everything that they are. And I think we can miss out on really good people because of that. And at the same time, we can also save ourselves some hassle by knowing that it's going to be an instant no. So I don't know what the purpose of this episode was, but I found it really interesting when I had checked out the guy's profile and I was like, yeah, instant ick, not for me, no. I also think one of the challenges that I'm going to have in the future is, obviously I've now been growing my business on social media since 2016. I put a lot of me on social media, and I've never been with someone, like I started that business when I was with my ex. So, and a lot of the time I felt not embarrassed, but I was like, oh my God, what if I put this out on social media and he's going to judge me, kind of thing. And now I'm going to be dating someone who is then going to see my social media at some stage. So I think my challenge is going to be not letting what he thinks of me and my social media impact my ability to run my business. And also, I would like to date someone who is also on social media for the same reasons that I am, in terms of like growing a business or growing a community or growing a following, whatever the reasons are. I think I'd like someone who understands my need to be on social media a lot and the reasons for why I share what I do online. I'd actually really love to meet someone who we can like set up a podcast together. Like, I'd love to have a couples podcast. Just putting it out there, men, if you are listening and you want to date me. No, I'm joking. But I would love to, I'd love to have like a couples podcast at some stage, because I just think it'd be so much fun to do something like that. Anyway, I'm waffling. I would actually love to hear from you. Does, guys, social media give you the instant ick? And are you someone that goes and looks up someone's social media when you start dating them? You can send me a message on Instagram at yourconfident30s, or you can go to the contribute form, datewithconfidencepodcast.com/contribute, to share any of your thoughts from the episode, share your own stories, to respond to the 2 questions that I just asked, or to ask me your question for the next community episode. So go for that there. But this has been a short and sweet episode with me talking about something that I thought might interest you. If it hasn't, then at least you've only wasted 10 minutes of your life. Thank you so much for listening. I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for listening to the Date with Confidence podcast. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Subscribe, rate and review, and share it with your single friends.